All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're cracking open the CEO's playbook. We're going to look at the four huge fundamental choices that can literally make or break a company.
Okay, just imagine this for a second. You're the CEO. The market's going crazy, your competitors are breathing down your neck, and your entire team, they're all looking at you. What's the plan? The next move you make could define everything. And that's really what strategy is all about, isn't it? Every company gets to this fork in the road. And that one choice, that one path you take, has the power to shape its entire future. So when you're standing at this crossroads, the options can feel, well, completely overwhelming. But here's the thing. The source material we're looking at today boils it all down. Turns out there are really only four fundamental paths a company can take. And here they are, the four core strategies. You've got stability. Think of it as defending your turf. Then there's expansion, which is that all-out sprint for growth. Retrenchment, that's the tactical retreat, right? Regrouping to fight another day. And finally, combination, which is kind of the masterstroke of doing all three at the same time. All right, let's tackle the first one. Path one, the stability strategy. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Playing it safe, right? But it's so much more than that. This is a really calculated move to protect the territory you've already fought so hard to win. The playbook here is pretty straightforward. Stick to what you do best and just do it better. It's not about totally reinventing the wheel. It's more like fine-tuning a high-performance engine to get every last drop of power out of it. So when does this make sense? Well, think about times when your product has really hit its stride. It's mature, or maybe the business environment is pretty stable, not a lot of waves. It's also a great move if you've just gone through a massive growth spurt and you need a minute to consolidate, just catch your breath. And this is really, really important. Don't ever confuse a stability strategy with a do-nothing strategy. It's not about standing still. It's an active defense. It's about fortifying your position, getting your house in order, maybe right before you make that next big push. Okay, let's switch gears completely. Now we're talking about the strategy that always seems to grab the headlines: expansion. This is basically the polar opposite of stability. It's all about taking calculated risks to get explosive growth. Yeah, expansion isn't just making a few small tweaks here and there. It's often a complete reinvention of the business. We're talking about huge investments, brand new products, and diving into totally uncharted markets. It's a high-stakes game for sure, but the potential payoff, absolutely massive. So how do you do it? Well, this grid breaks down the four main ways to grow from the inside. You can try to penetrate your existing market more deeply. You could develop new products for the customers who already love you. You could take your current products and go find new markets for them. Or you can take the biggest leap of them all, which is diversification. This is easily the boldest move on the board. You're jumping into brand new markets with brand new products. It's a huge bet, and it often means completely transforming how your business operates. But even diversification isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. This diagram shows us three ways to do it where the new business is still related to your old one. You can go backward and buy your suppliers, kind of like a car company buying a steel mill. You can go forward and control your distribution, like a clothing brand opening its own retail stores. Or you can just go sideways and buy up one of your competitors. Of course, growth doesn't always have to come from within. You can also join forces with another company. Now, a merger, that's more like a partnership. It's friendly, two companies coming together to create something new. An acquisition, on the other hand, is a takeover. One company buys another, and let's be honest, sometimes it's not so friendly. But what happens when things go wrong? When growth just stops, or even reverses? That's where our third path, the retrenchment strategy, comes in. And it's crucial to understand, this isn't about admitting failure. It's a smart, calculated retreat to make sure the company survives to fight another day. The trick is spotting the danger signals early. Are you constantly bleeding cash? Is your market share slipping away month after month? Are your products starting to feel old? These are the red flags telling you it's time to make a big change. And if you do need a turnaround, there's a playbook for that too. It's a 5-stage plan. First, you have to be brutally honest about what the problems are. Then you analyze everything and come up with a real strategic plan. Step 3 is the emergency action. You gotta stop the bleeding fast. After that, you restructure the whole business. And finally, hopefully, you get back to some version of normal, stable operation. But sometimes a turnaround for the whole company isn't enough because one part is just broken. That's when you might have to consider divestment. Think of it like surgery. You sell off a part of the business that's struggling so you can free up resources and focus on the parts that are healthy and can actually grow.
Okay, that brings us to our final strategy. And this one is probably the most common in the real world and definitely the most nuanced. You see, big companies rarely just do one of these things. They usually use a mix, which leads us to the combination strategy.
This is really where the art of strategy comes in. A big, smart company might be going full throttle on expansion in one division while holding steady and playing defense in another, and maybe even selling off a third division that's underperforming. It's like a masterclass in being strategically agile.
And this quote from Bruce D. Henderson just nails it. Strategy isn't random. It's a deliberate search for a plan of action. You're actively trying to find a competitive advantage, and then you compound it. You make it grow. Every single move, whether it's big and bold or small and defensive, is part of that bigger plan to build something that lasts.
So, there you have it. Stability, expansion, retrenchment, and the combination of all three. That's the CEO's playbook. You know the moves. The only question left is the one we started with. What's your next strategic move?